Okay, guys, okay. Martial law for the UK. They are pumping that out there like I have never seen before. It's all over the media, all over the news. They are conducting mind control experiments. Or is it? I don't believe it is. I reckon they're going to do it. They're going to put martial law onto the streets of the UK. And it's going to be anarchy. Yeah? They're going to use this as an excuse to clean up, to take the reapers, to take the alternative media, to take the bloggers, the YouTubers, the tweeters. Yeah? And they'll vanish down the dark hole forever, never to be seen again. As treasonous mate conducts a Brexit betrayal. That's what it's about, guys. We've been betrayed. This is what it's all about. Don't you think for 1 minute that we haven't. It's a set-up job. Yeah, left against right. Labour against Conservative. Yeah, Conservative against Conservative. The rebels! All a lie, all a ploy, and in the confusion, treasonous mate has stabbed the British public in the back. That's what's happened there, guys. You've got to understand. And they're looking across at France. They're seeing the yellow vest momentum against globalist empire tyranny. And they think, shit, that could happen there. So how do we stop it? We put martial law in place. We slot the alternative media. We slot the yellow vests. We slot the gobby fuckers up there on the alternative media. That's why they're going to now start purging conspiracies, starting with the flat earthers. If the earth isn't flat, why the fuck are they purging their videos? Yeah? Come on, guys. Something's going on here. Why was the moon upside down last night? And however I tried to film it on my phone, it wasn't having a bar of it. The alien force field. But let's get back to reality at the moment, upon this plane of existence. Martial law is coming to the UK. It's coming, guys, and they're going to roll it out like you wouldn't believe. Before you've had your bread and butter and your marmite with your morning cup of tea, there'll be soldiers at your door, a gun in your face and a bullet in your fucking head and your brain up the wall. If you've gobbed off, that's the future coming for you. Pretty sharpish, pretty quick. You must understand the severity of where we are now. What's going to occur? Ah, yeah. They're looking at curfews, travel bans, confiscation of property. That'll be your iPads and your laptops and your communication. Hopefully not your beer. Hide your beer. Deployment of the armed forces onto the streets of the UK. They're going to suspend the Human Rights Act for 21 days at a time. You think they're not going to slot your fucking brain up the wall with a fucking automatic rifle? Well, you've got no human rights. Yeah, you've got to understand now. They want you dependent upon the state. So they've got hold of you. They don't want you prepping. They don't want you independent. They don't want you having free thought and free speech. It's going to be clamped down as a new world order. The beast, this tyrannical monster that enslaves planet Earth, rises. Yeah, as it's threatened by a people uprising around the globe. Martial law in the UK. That's what I'm trying to tell you, guys. They're going to ramp this thing out. Yeah, Theresa's mate, she knows what's going down in France. She sees Macron besieged by the yellow vests. Yeah, she knows he's going to come for her. She knows the momentum is going to turn. We're already having yellow vest protests in the UK that they don't put on the media. If you go on social media, it's there. They're not showing you any of it now. They're not reporting on any of it. It's virtually censored. Why are they censoring it? Because they don't want you to know. They don't want it becoming an infectious ingredient of social conditioning. They don't want the people to know. They can protest legally. They can protest democratically. They can show their displeasure. What would it mean, though? I mean, Macron don't give a flying fuck. He stabbed his people in the back. He's thrown the whole of France under the bus. He's jaunting around Egypt with his geriatric wife who thinks it's fucking funny. I'm the Lord Jupiter, I'm the god of war. That's what he said. The irrationality of these people. He's not at home trying to sort his country out. He's on holiday in Egypt. He probably won't come back. He probably asked for fucking asylum there. Don't send me back. The yellow vests have got me guillotine. It's got my name on the edge of the fucking blade. They're going to chop me head off. Be wishful thinking, wouldn't it? But yeah. Yeah. So they know civil unrest is a very real prospect. Because treasonous May's Brexit betrayal. And let's read it. A Whitehall source claims that the only thing that can be compared to a no-deal Brexit will be a major war in Europe. we voted for Brexit. We didn't vote for a deal. The deal was stuck in there afterwards by treasonous May as she ran for re-election to stiff us up. Fuck your deal, stick your deal, let's Brexit, and then let's make our deals under WTO and other new to be made agreements. We don't want the old stuff. We don't want to be enslaved to a system there we're paying into the International Monetary Fund and our money's being siphoned off to feed and fuel the lifestyles of the rich, to arm a feudal police state which is rebelling against its people. See in France, that yellow vest protest Saturday, they shot the leader in the fucking eye. They've took his eye out, mangled him with a rubber bullet. I'm surprised they didn't use a real bullet and blow his fucking brains out, because that's what they really wanted to do. That's what they're going to do in the UK when treasonous May suspends all lawful duties for 21 days and martial law is ramped out and tanks are rolling down the streets and the SAS are coming round the house looking for the gobby YouTubers. Fucking come round here, you ain't going to shoot me in the fucking eye. I'm ready, I'm prepared. Yeah? These motherfuckers. We voted for these people to represent us under this lie of democracy, and they've betrayed us from the word go, stabbed us in the back. That's why it's been going on 2 years, Brexit. For 2 years, they've been just dragging their heels deliberately, causing all this confusion, disharmony. Britain's a divided country like it never has been before under the leadership of treasonous May and her agenda, because nobody wants us to Brexit. They want us aligned permanently to the tyranny and shackles of the New World Order, which is Project EU Superstate. Yeah, this is what it's all about. While Macron and Merkel got their super armour, they're going to roll this EU super army across the entire boundary of the EU and pummel all those countries that are rebelling EU sovereignty, and they want independence. That word independence is no longer going to exist as they enforce the UN Migration Act over the next 5 years into your country, into the next 6 years. Yeah. Anybody now with any morality, any common sense, any nationality will be branded a fire starter, a troublemaker, a hate speaker, a racist. And leftist agenda policy will be weaponised to totally destroy the identities of countries and cultures. And then when they've done that, they'll destroy the leftist agendas completely and enforce authoritarian 1984 Orwellian rule. Yeah, over the people. It's all an agenda and it's happening now. And Brexit is perhaps the catalyst to ramp this thing up beyond anything we ever expected. Been talking about it for years, but it's here, right now. Martial law is round the corner. Armed tanks and troops on the streets of the UK. The Human Rights Act suspended for 21 days. Going round the door, your houses, door to door, rounding up what they call dissidents, which is really the voice of freedom. Freedom doesn't exist anymore. Freedom of speech doesn't exist anymore. We're there, guys. We're there. And Brexit was the catalyst, as I keep saying. So let's have a look. And you couldn't believe what they're calling this martial law. Operation Yellow Hammer. Taking the piss now. So we've got yellow vests in France, which is infectiously spreading around the world as people take to the streets against tyrannical governments. And now they've called this Operation Yellow Hammer. And they're going to smash the yellow vest mentality into smithereens with martial law in the UK. Yellow Hammer. They ain't just come up with that word. They're taking the piss now. Yeah? Talking about martial law, FEMA camps. Macron's got the guillotine. Tony Blair will be out the door with George Soros welcoming you in, surrounded by barbed wire. German Alsatian dogs. Yeah. We're going back in history, but we are about to revisit the darkest times of human history that we saw last century. Yeah, we're going back there, guys. History is repeating itself. We're not learning a lesson. History has been hijacked by the elitists, by the globalists. Yeah. Yeah. Except this time it'll be the voice of freedom that's going to be imprisoned and sent to the chambers. That's what's occurring. You must understand, guys, the severity of what they're about to pull in Europe. Nigel Farage says it's ludicrous scaremongering. It's not. This is what they're going to roll out, you see. You see, they're already paving the way that no Brexit, which is what a no-deal Brexit, which is what we voted for, can't happen. So we've either got to take treasonous May's deal, which basically just keeps us enslaved to the EU with no power or voice to defend ourselves, or Brexit is stopped, cancelled, which I believe they do under the guise of a national emergency, which is why they want to ramp martial law and have disharmony on the streets. That gives them the excuse. Yeah, or second referendum, which they're just going to hijack. So this is why they've had years and years of Project Fair. So a second referendum will go the other way, because people are that terrified of a no-deal Brexit when that's what we voted for and that's what we want. And a proper Prime Minister would have delivered it to us and would have had trade agreements in place. No, there was never any intention to give the British people freedom from this monster called the EU. And they're going to use this now as an excuse to start the culling, to start the Agenda 21 depopulation, the rise of the beast, the FEMA camps, the guillotines. These things are real, guys. The infrastructure's there. You've got to understand. It won't be British troops on the streets. They'll send the EU troops in. Macron's boys! Yeah, Angela Merkel's troops. There'll be fucking German tanks coming down the streets of the UK to fucking blast you out your fucking house. Bang! There's another YouTuber dead. Fucking bang! 21 days. What can they do in 21 days? Fucking hell. They've got it planned. They've marked the names. They've got to be targeted. And when they're finished with the voice of dissident, they'll come for the rest. You've got to understand. Yeah? So that's what it's all about. And look at this, you know. What did I learn? Macron anger. French president is not responsive to the Yellow Vest riots. Story from the main line today. That assume really treasonous May is not responsive to her own people. It's going to roll out, guys. I really do think it's going to. Brexit was sabotaged 2 years ago. We're only just realising it now. Treasonous May answers only to Merkel, who answers to Soros and the New World Order, the deep state, the one world government. These shady ambassadors of power, your Rockefellers, your oil companies, your arm companies, these multi-billion and trillionaires who are up there at Davos drinking the champagne and laughing at us from up on high. Yeah? That's who their answer to. That's who are pulling the strings. It's ready to go, guys. It's ready to go. We're in serious trouble. We're in real serious trouble. Freedom dies here, now, under the flame and torch of tyranny. That's what's happening there. This isn't about people causing trouble. This isn't about uprising. This is about them making their move against us. Destroying democracy, destroying freedom of speech, destroying morality, destroying national identity and nationality, destroying anything that renders an echo or a residue of common sense. Yeah? Because they don't want it. Their way's coming. It's their way or the highway. And that's it. There's no in-between ground anymore with them. Yeah? What do we do? I honestly don't know where we go from here. What can you do without becoming an outlaw? Nobody wants to go down that line. Well, maybe they want you to give them the excuse on their 21 days of anarchy to come round and blow your fucking brains up the window. So, all aboard. Let's watch this. Let's stand fast. Yeah? These days are really here. These days we've talked about over the last 5 years. And in the back of our mind, we thought they'll never come to fruition, but it's a great story. Fucking hell. They're here. They're here right now. In your face, baby. Hold them fast, guys. Hold them fast. All aboard. See you soon.